So Disturbed frontman David Draymond, great name,
Mm-hmm.
called out Daily Show host Trevor Noah over his takedown of Joe Rogan. So Trevor Noah was saying that Rogan's use of the N-word was wrong, and basically saying that, so Noah said, if there's ever a video of you saying the N-word that many times, you better pray one of two things. Either you're a black person or you're a dead man from history. Then the worst thing they can do to you is take your statue down and move it to a museum. As bad as it was to see Joe Rogan dropping the N-word like he bought in bulk at Costco, an even worse part of the video was Joe Rogan told a movie about just a story about going to see a movie in a black neighborhood. And that's where the Planet of the Apes quote comes from.
Yeah.
And, that's a great quote that almost assuredly someone in the Comedy Central writing staff wrote for him. But, Draymond, who was Jewish, came out and said, "You're a hypocritical, self-righteous, pathetic man, Trevor Noah." And included a written compilation of Noah's past anti-Semitic jokes, including one that read, quote, "Almost bumped a Jewish kid crossing the road. He didn't look before crossing, but I still would have felt so bad in my German car." Or,
damn.
Quote, originally when men proposed, they went down on one knee. So if the woman said no, they were in perfect uppercut position. So these are jokes that Trevor Noah made, and then Trevor Noah is starting to get on Joe Rogan on this like wokeness sort of thing, which is why if you watch Power Report, you will see a critique of Joe Rogan and a critique of people who defend Joe Rogan on his racist stance that's actually substantive and justifiable. Because if you're going to say, oh, Joe Rogan is a racist for saying these things, it's not going to work because comedians dabble in topics that are, uncouth and edgy all the time, all right? You need to point at what does the racism look like as far as action? What is Joe Rogan doing in actions that are racist? It's a harder argument to make, but it can be made. But Trevor Noah and that not to get into a PowerPoint rant here, their comedy is too watered down. It's not smart. It's not intelligent. It's made to make a sort of low operating brain function political mind laugh and be funny and find it humorous. But in reality, it's just the most surface level political criticism that doesn't get at the actual issues of this country, which is why there are a million other ways, better ways to get politics, and PowerPoint is one of them.
Yep. It's just, yeah. The more time... These people aren't even fun. I've never found Trevor Noah to be entertaining at all and whatnot. So the more dunking on him, the better. And people like that who don't have, anything. Oh Lord, my camera again. Rip. Anything that someone who doesn't have something very constructive to say about it, more just outrage. You're not going to have any utter change in that.
Yeah. You have to be careful with how you're creating your rhetoric and actually be more thoughtful of the audience of your argument. And that's something that doing a daily 30-minute talk show doesn't allow you to do.